I'm a 34-year-old guy, married to my wife, 32, for 8 years, together for 12. We met in our early 20s, back when life felt like it had endless possibilities. She was this vibrant, quick-witted woman who laughed at my terrible puns during a mutual friend's game night. We bonded over late-night tacos, arguing about whether pineapple belongs on pizza. She's pro, I'm vehemently anti. Those early days were magic. Long hikes where we'd talk about our dreams, lazy Sundays watching sci-fi flicks, stealing kisses in the kitchen while cooking dinner. We were the couple everyone envied, the ones who'd finish each other's sentences. We've been through hell and back together, job losses, her dad's cancer scare, moving across the country for my career. I thought we were unbreakable, the kind of love you see in movies where the couple just gets each other. We don't have kids yet, but we've spent the last year planning for them, picking out names like Emma for a girl or Lucas for a boy, dreaming about teaching them to ride bikes in the driveway of the house we saved for years to buy. Then, 3 months ago, I found out she was having an emotional affair and the life I thought we had crumbled. I'm lost, Reddit, and I need help figuring out what to do with the pieces. It started with small things, so subtle I almost didn't notice. She'd always been glued to her phone, scrolling X, texting friends, but it changed. She'd smile at her screen, a private kind of smile I hadn't seen in a while, and tilted away when I walked by. She'd stay up late, claiming she was catching up on work emails, her fingers tapping furiously in the glow of her phone. Sometimes she'd take calls in the guest room, her voice low, muffled through the door. I'm not the jealous type. I've always trusted her completely. We've shared everything, passwords, bank accounts, even the embarrassing stories we swore never to tell. But something fell off, like a song slightly out of tune. One night I tried to address it, keeping it light. "You're on that phone a lot lately. Everything okay?" I asked, pouring her a glass of wine. She barely looked up, just muttered, "Work's been crazy. You're overthinking it." Her eyes darted away, and I felt a pang in my chest. But I love her, so I let it go, convincing myself it was nothing. Weeks passed, and the distance grew. She'd come home from work distracted, her laughter quieter, her touch less frequent. We used to cuddle on the couch every night, her head on my chest as we binged some new show. Now she'd sit at the other end, scrolling, her face lit by the screen. I started wondering if I'd done something wrong. Was I working too much? I'm in finance, and the past year has been brutal. 60, sometimes 70 hours a week, late nights crunching numbers, missing dinners we'd planned. I'd come home exhausted, and she'd be asleep or still on her phone. I thought she understood. We'd always supported each other's careers, but maybe I'd missed something, some signal she was slipping away. Then, one Saturday, everything unraveled. I needed to check a work email and my laptop was updating, so I grabbed hers from the kitchen table. We've always shared devices. No secrets, no big deal. Her messaging app was open. A thread with someone named Mark, work, staring me in the face. I froze. I didn't want to snoop, but my gut screamed something was wrong. I scrolled, and my heart sank with every message. They weren't explicit, no sexting or anything, but they were so intimate. She'd told him about her fear of turning 33, how she worried she was losing herself in our routine. She confessed she felt trapped sometimes, like life was passing her by. These were things she used to tell me, back when we'd stay up until 3 a.m., talking about our deepest hopes and fears. He responded with compliments, calling her beautiful, brilliant, sending her playlists with sappy captions like, "For when you need a smile." She'd reply with heart emojis, little lols, or "You always know what to say." The worst was a message from her sent at 1 a.m. a week earlier. "Talking to you feels like I'm alive again." I felt like I'd been punched. My hands shook as I closed the laptop, my throat tight, the room spinning. Who was this person I'd married? I waited until she got home from a coffee run. I didn't plan what to say. I just couldn't hold it in. "Who's Mark?" I asked, my voice sharper than I meant. Her face went pale and she set her coffee down slowly, like she was buying time. "He's just a friend from work," she said, but her voice cracked. I told her I saw the messages. She tried to deflect, saying it was nothing serious, but I pressed, my voice rising despite myself. "You're telling him things you don't tell me. You said he makes you feel alive. What am I supposed to do with that?" That's when she broke down, tears streaming, her hands covering her face. She admitted she'd been close with Mark for 6 months. Texts, calls, a few lunches during work. This was growing beyond what I expected. A part of me wanted to warn Becky, but then I remembered the footage. My house, my dog, my life, treated like trash. There was no going back, and truthfully, I didn't want to. Next day, I met the bank fraud investigator, Thompson. Small guy, coffee stain on his tie. "You'd be surprised how common this is," he said. "Deployed spouse. Other sees opportunity." "So what now?" I asked. Funds are frozen, but half is gone. $14,600? Where? I pressed. Not supposed to share, he said. It's my house, my forged signature, my stolen money. He nodded and turned his screen. Transfers to someone named Daniel Spencer. Who? Not Jeremy. I called James. Ran a check. Daniel Spencer, real estate agent, quick sales, cash offers. She was selling the house, I said. Looks like it. Deposits were probably to list it. More. Spencer and Jeremy have worked together before. 3 house deals in 2 years. I sat on a park bench, stunned. This wasn't just betrayal. This was coordinated. James continued. Jeremy has a history. Targets military spouses, flips homes with Spencer, gets a cut, then vanishes. And Becky? Victim or accomplice? Hard to say. This was bigger than us. Other families had suffered too. I asked what's next. James had already looped in the FBI. This was crossing state lines, involving VA loans. That night I sipped a beer in the motel, wondering if Becky ever really loved me, or just played along. Text came through. Becky. Nathan, please. The bank mentioned fraud. Jeremy's in jail. I'm so confused. I replied, Who is Daniel Spencer? She typed, stopped, typed again. Eventually, I don't know what you're talking about. $14,600. House listing. Transfers. 10 minutes passed. Then, it's not what you think. I powered off my phone and went to sleep. Next day, James called. FBI wants to meet. Your case might blow this open. At their Spokane office, agents Patel and Donovan took my statement, collected every document. Your story adds structure to the case, Patel said. Proves conspiracy. What about Becky? I asked. They exchanged glances, still assessing her role. She ever talk about financial stress? Downsizing? Yeah, about 6 months ago, right when Jeremy entered the picture. The refinance? Never discussed it with me. Total forgery. They made notes. Patel handed me her card. We'll be in touch. Don't confront her. That night, I watched from a distance as Jeremy's truck returned home. Becky's car wasn't there. She texted me again. Let's talk in person. Meet me at Riverfront Park tomorrow. I showed James. Don't go, he said. But let's see what she does while you're meeting her. Next morning, we parked across from the house. At 9:45, Becky drove off, toward Riverfront Park. Then a car pulled up. Real estate logo. Daniel Spencer. Jeremy greeted him. They entered the house. Follow? James asked. No need, I said. I set up internal cameras last year. Cloud backup. I pulled out my phone. On screen, Spencer took photos. Jeremy pointed out house features. Volume on. Should be listed by week's end, Spencer said. Got a buyer already? Cash. How much? Jeremy asked. List at $470, offer $420, close quick. What about the husband? Becky says he's stirring trouble. Spencer waved it off. Military guys always bluster. He'll settle to make it vanish. James recorded the screen. I sent the live feed to Agent Patel. 30 minutes later, FBI surrounded the house, arrested Spencer and Jeremy on site. Agent Patel called. We got them. Caught on tape organizing the scam, wire fraud, real estate fraud, conspiracy. We'll need a full statement. What about Becky? I asked. She just arrived. Upset. I looked toward the house. She was on the lawn, frozen, hands over her mouth. What happens now? Depends, Patel said. On her involvement, and on what you want. I watched her. 13 years together. Some of it good, before it all fell apart. I just want what's right, I said. The case advanced quickly. Jeremy and Spencer took plea deals, implicated others, 3-state operation targeting soldiers' families. Becky claimed she was manipulated, believed I was hiding assets, said refinancing was Jeremy's idea. Maybe true, maybe not. She signed a settlement. Full repayment. No claim to the house or pension, admitted to the forgery. In return, I didn't press charges. 6 months after that email, the divorce was official. No fault. Clean break. All things considered.